There is a specific moment, not a day, not a week, a single moment when something shifts inside you, and your brain stops fighting. Scientists have studied exactly what happens in that moment, and what they found changes everything. We think giving up is a choice, a decision made by a weak person at a weak moment. We think it means something about who you are, but that is not what the brain does. Giving up is not a decision. It is a neurological event. Something triggers inside your neural architecture. Before you even realize it is happening, before your conscious mind has finished deciding, the brain has already begun shutting systems down. And the reason it does this is far more interesting than weakness. In the 1960s, psychologist Martin Seligman ran a series of experiments. He was studying how animals responded to unavoidable stress. What he discovered became one of the most referenced findings in all of psychology. He called it learned helplessness. Here is what happened. Animals exposed to unavoidable negative experiences eventually stopped trying to escape them. Even when escape became possible, even when the door was wide open, they had learned that trying did not work, so the brain stopped generating the signal to try. This is not weakness. This is efficiency. The brain is the most energy-hungry organ in your body. It burns 20% of your total calories just to keep running. So when the brain calculates that a goal is unreachable, based on available evidence, it does not keep wasting resources on it. It shuts the effort signal off. This is called motivational inhibition, and it happens in milliseconds. Long before you consciously decide to quit, the brain already quit. The body just had not caught up yet. And here is the part nobody talks about. That shutdown is not permanent. It is conditional. The brain is waiting for new evidence. Evidence that the calculation was wrong. Evidence that trying might work after all. But here's where it gets complicated. Because giving up does not feel like an off switch. It feels like something much heavier. It feels like truth. When the motivational signal shuts down, the brain does not say, "System paused." The brain says, "You were never going to make it." It rewrites the narrative retroactively. It turns a strategic pause into a permanent verdict. And the difference between those two things is what separates people who recover from giving up from people who never try again. But there is something happening in your brain right now, while you are watching this, that most people never learn about. Stay with me. There is a chemical released in the brain at the moment of giving up. Scientists call it a specific neuropeptide, and it does something completely unexpected, something that explains why giving up can feel like relief, why sometimes it feels almost good, and why that feeling is the most dangerous part of the whole process. The chemical is called CRF, corticotropin-releasing factor. When your brain decides a goal is lost, CRF floods the prefrontal cortex. And here is what CRF does. It suppresses the stress response. All that cortisol you were running on, all that anxiety about failing, all that tension in your body from trying, CRF quiets it almost immediately. And this is why giving up can feel like taking a breath, like finally putting down something heavy, like peace. Your brain just gave you a chemical reward for stopping. It rewarded you for giving up. And the reason this is dangerous is because the next time you approach something hard, your brain already knows what happens if you stop. It knows the relief that is waiting. It starts offering you the exit earlier, each time a little sooner. Each time the exit feels a little more rational, a little more deserved, until you start projects you never expected to finish. Until you enter relationships already planning the door, until trying itself starts to feel pointless. Not because you are broken, because your brain learned an association. Stopping equals relief. Trying equals pain. And it is running that equation every single time, without asking your permission, without telling you it is happening, just quietly nudging you toward the exit. Every single time. So what breaks the pattern? What interrupts the equation? In 2007, neuroscientist Robert Sapolsky published research on this exact question. He found something counterintuitive. The brain does not respond to completion the way we think. It responds to proximity to completion. When the brain detects that a goal is close, even before it is reached, dopamine spikes. Motivation floods back. This is why the last mile feels different from the first. Why finishing a book gets easier near the end. Why you clean the whole kitchen once you start on one dish. The brain calculated, close enough to win, and it turned the effort signal back on. So here's what this means for giving up. The moment you feel like stopping is almost never the moment you are farthest from the goal. It is usually the moment your brain has run out of evidence that you are close, not the moment you are actually far, the moment you feel far. And those two things are completely different. Sapolsky's work suggests one practical shift. Instead of measuring how far you have to go, measure how far you have already come, not as a comfort, as a data point. Give the brain new evidence. Evidence that progress exists. Evidence that the effort has not been wasted. And watch the equation begin to change, not instantly, not magically, but chemically, measurably, really. The moment you gave up on something was not the moment you decided you were not enough. It was the moment your brain ran out of evidence to keep going. That is a different problem, with a different solution. And now you know what it is. If this changed how you see something you stopped, send it to someone who needed to hear this today. And next, why do you remember some strangers forever? That one goes deeper than you think.